And I think we would be wise to move a quarter of the rations and supplies away from this camp and into the outpost 2 miles north. We've moved too much of our power into one place. Well, yes, that's the intention whenever we plan to launch an assault, but we don't have the information necessary to do that, and as of right now, we are far too easy of a target. If you will, please speak to the quartermaster about moving supplies down the road with 24 men and a healer. They'll stay there until we call on them, and in the meantime, they can work on staging a small secondary medical facility. While you do that, I'm headed in to speak to the Griffin girl. I wouldn't call it an interrogation, no, but I am going to see if I can win her trust. Yes, you may join me, if you wish. I do ask that you allow me to do the talking, though. I'd like to pick up where I left off yesterday. I'd like to think I made some progress, yes. Time will tell.
You're back. Is this the part where you torture me?
Child, I don't intend to torture you.
I am not a child. I'm almost 16.
Are you really? I would guess you're closer to 13, am I right? I thought so. What's your name?
Braylon.
Please, Braylon, help me to understand what's going on. Yesterday you mentioned something that alarmed me a great deal, that your people, my people, are dying, and the only cause being that the magically gifted are unknowingly sapping the life force when they use magic. Share with me what you know about this imbalance of magic and about how the Griffins plan to wield it.
Why should I tell you?
I'm a princess. One day, the throne will fall to me, and when it does, I want my people safe, fed, and happy. And that can't happen if there are multiple threats assaulting that dream from all sides. If something is truly so wrong, then isn't it my duty to fix it? How can I resolve that which I know nothing about?
As if you would care, in your palace with your fine gowns and your never-ending supply of food.
Those fine trappings mean nothing to me if I do not earn them by doing the task I was destined to do. My family only has power because it was bestowed on us by the people's consensus. How could I betray that? I confess I have never known true hunger. I've always had healers to attend to me when I was sick, and yes, I've had access to an excessive amount of finery. But I know what it is to lose someone you love. And I know what it is to be thrust into a power you did not ask for. If I can spare my people that pain, I will. Why do you think I am out here? You could be the key to stopping all of this.
What do you mean? I can't do anything. I'm just a village girl forced into magic.
As I once was.
What?
I was an orphaned baby from a village half a day's ride from the capital. The king and queen chose me from an orphanage to be their princess and heir, to their kingdom and to my mother's magic, as is tradition.
I didn't know that.
Of course not. It happened almost a decade before you were born. And I imagine unrest is all you've ever known. You've been at the heart of it all. Human revolutions, shifter wars. But if you can find it within yourself to trust me with what you know, I will do everything within my power to set things to rights, including lay my life on the line. Braylon, this is my oath to you. If you trust me with your knowledge, I will wield it like a weapon in honor of those you love, in memory of those you mourn, and in defense of those you still hope to protect.
And if I say no?
Then you're free to go.
What? You mean I'm not a prisoner?
Your injuries have mostly healed. You've been fed, and you've given us all the information you are willing to give. So you are of no further use to us. Guard, untie her, please. Give her a bundle of rations, a warm cloak, and a vial of ointment for her injury. A few crowns as well, so that she might purchase safe lodging on her journey. I trust you know to keep the excess money well out of sight.
Where should I go?
Wherever you'd like. Wherever you feel the safest. But if you find that you need my protection, seek me out and you shall have it. You may write to me or come in person, whichever suits you.
I don't understand. Why?
Because you are my subject, and my protection is the least you are owed. Now, go freely. No, I don't wish to have anyone follow her. The poor child is frightened enough. She is my subject, and instead of feeling as though she could trust me to help her, she was frightened of me. This disconnect between the palace and the people has gone too far. No, I need some time to think. I'm going to take a reconnaissance assignment for the afternoon, fly around a bit to clear my head. Shall I meet you for the evening meal? Very well. I will. You be careful too. Hello. It went well, thank you. Nothing out of the ordinary. How did it go with the quartermaster? Really? What happened? Ah, I see. I know they may be a bit short-handed on healers, but it's just a secondary location. If we fall back, we'll bring more healers with us. I hope they didn't overload you with complaints. Did you? And what solution did you offer? Students? From the Healers Academy? You mean on rotation? Oh, you're absolutely right. There will be plenty of volunteers, none of them need to feel forced. And that far back, they'll be perfectly safe. Very clever. Now, why didn't I think of that? I suppose you're right. I can't think of everything, after all. May I sit beside you? What is it? When did it arrive? Oh, it hasn't been waiting long then. What does it say? Well, I appreciate that you have left me my privacy. Let's see. Princess Rowan, if you really want to make good on your oath, meet me in the cavern behind the old mill to the east after dark. Do not bring guards. Braylon. You know that I must. I'm sorry, but I will bring no guards. She said not to. I'm very well aware that it might be a trap, but I gave her my word. I'm not asking you to agree. I am simply asking you not to stop me. I cannot abandon my people, even if the situation is less than ideal. Safety. You talk of safety when I am literally at a battlefront, one that I've been managing since before I met you. Do you not think I'm capable of protecting myself? Yes, I did nearly die in that cave. So did you, in case you'd forgotten, so don't you dare use that against me. I do not wish to be at odds with you. And yet I cannot go back on my word, not when so much is at stake. Can we not come to a compromise? Please. And what is your condition? Come with me. No, I don't disagree. Technically, you are not a god, so I won't be going against her request. She's seen you, she knows we're married. And Well, 2 dragons is an unfair match for any foe. I doubt they'd even try it. Very well. We'll tell the men that you and I are going out, and tell them where we are going. If we haven't returned to camp by the morning, they are to come looking for us there. All right. We've got about 2 hours to kill before the rendezvous. How would you feel about taking our meal in here, just the 2 of us? In truth, I'm a bit exhausted, and a little peace and quiet would do me good before walking into whatever it is we're about to walk into. I appreciate that. I'm constantly wondering whether I'm doing enough. If I ask you a question, will you be brutally honest with your answer? I do not wish for you to spare my feelings. Am I being too soft-hearted? I mean, I try to lead with compassion before all else. But it seems that there are some who believe that I'm going soft, that me allowing Braylon to leave was reckless. But I just can't see any value in traumatizing a child, no matter how much she may know about the war effort. I let her go, and I'm planning on helping her now because the fear in her eyes was real, because the pain she bore was tangible, because I don't want to fortify my kingdom with the broken souls of its innocents. I recognize that in war sacrifices must be made, difficult decisions must be reached, unthinkable deeds must be done. But not to children. Not to the very future I'm working to protect. So I ask you, do you think I'm being too soft-hearted? Good. That's... Thank you. Yes, you may take my hand. I appreciate your help and your comfort, as always. I'm sorry about our disagreement. To be completely honest, I'm not certain how I ever got along without you before. To take my mind off it? I don't know. All right. Tell me about Saphira. Well, of course I know the facts, but they're things you'd find in a book or on a trade report. Help me to see Saphira through your eyes. When you think of home, what does that look like? When you say the trees are tall, how tall are we talking? Taller than the central tower. But I read that the Sapphire Keep's central tower was 15 stories high. No, we've nothing like that here. The tallest tree we have is in the square. You passed it on your way in. What else? I expect the view must be beautiful, watching the sun rise over the sea like that. Because of the peninsula, I've only ever seen the sunset from the palace. I think I should like to experience that with you. The quiet morning before anyone is awake, watching the day come to life over the water. It must be invigorating. Anything else? Oh? Well, you can't tell me about the food without telling me about your favourites. You know, I've never actually had pheasant. Then I look forward to it. Oh, that sounds delightful. Do they only make that during the summer berry harvest, or are the pastries to be found at other times of year? Well, hopefully our first visit lines up with the harvest then. I wouldn't want to miss that. Is it true that dancing is a weekly event during the summer months in Saphira? What, everyone? And they all danced together, nobles alongside the gentry. No, not at all. I would love to see such a thing happen in Zateron. Of course. I imagine it's been difficult for your people to celebrate, what with the hardships they've endured. But fear not. After dealing with this absolute disaster of a war, fixing Saphira's economy will seem simple by comparison. It will come in time. It will mean a great deal to me that you see your homeland restored. Thank you for telling me about it. And thank you for being here. You see, we are finding our way. And we will continue to do so.